Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. Well, it's that time again where we delve into the realm of potential. Yes, time for more monthly colour readings. I hope you've been enjoying the ones that I have been presenting so far, and I'd be very curious to find out just how it is that you managed with the colour changes that you may have chosen for yourself. I, this month, had the colours blue and yellow, and I certainly had some surprises, which is what those colours tend to suggest. The most surprising thing, of course, was that even though I am a lucid dreamer, and still dreamt throughout the entire month, I couldn't remember any of them, which is really quite interesting because yellow is a colour of remembering things. So obviously it was an issue that I needed to deal with. But before we get started today, I'd really like to welcome those of you who are new subscribers to this channel. It's always pleasant to find that there are people who are starting to find an interest in the sorts of things that I talk about. Maybe it's not so much these monthly readings, maybe it's more to do with the films that I analyse, but whatever it is, if I can explore with you the world of colour as I see it, then maybe you too will find an interest in something that you didn't know that you were interested in. For those of you who are regular viewers, thank you from the bottom of my heart for attending, and really, I think it's time that you might like to make some comments. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's happening to you. Let me know how these readings resonate for you. And that way I can be guided into giving more informed opinions of the colours as they turn out. If you're new here, then of course you are also very, very welcome. And I hope you find something here that is of benefit to you. All right, well, this month I've decided to take the oracle called The Treasures of Tikashi. Now, I don't have a box for these anymore. These have been with me for almost as long as my tarot cards and much, much longer than my colour cards. So the box is long gone, but it has some very wonderful messages for people. And I hope that the message that comes out for you resonates with what you are experiencing in your life in the here and now. All right then, well, let's get started. So what we have now is a colour reading for those of you born in the month of October, for your birth month, for October 2025. And let's begin with one of the treasures of Tikashi. These are very tiny little cards, as you can see, and they're rather slippery even after all these years of use. And I still haven't learned how to shuffle properly. But I want something of benefit for people born in October for their October reading. Oracle. Before I drop them all, let's just choose a reading. And we'll pop that card under there. We looked at the end of the reading. All right then. Let's look at a colour reading for people born in October to see how their October 2025 will eventuate. Colour reading for people born in October. All right. The energy with which you enter the month is black on blue. The energy for the majority of the month is cyan on black. And the energy with which you leave the month is orange on orange. And the underlying energy for all of that is black on pink. Well, the first thing we notice, of course, is that black is the most prolific colour here. It appears 3 times. Twice in the top of the circle, which means that is the activity in which you are engaged, and once in the bottom of the circle, that is the underlying need or drive that is causing an action in the real world. Having it appear 3 times means that it is of great importance to you throughout the month. And black is an issue that when people need to deal with it, they often have to withdraw. And that's exactly what this underlying energy here is all about. Inside, there is pink. Pink is the need for love, the need for approval, the need for some sort of assistance. You don't have any energy. You don't have any feeling of being able to be in control of your life. Perhaps even you're feeling somewhat ill. Whatever it is, this underlying energy comes through in the real world as an actual withdrawal. Withdrawing from the world can take many forms, and it can be something like feeling depressed. It can just simply be shutting yourself off from other people. It can also mean taking time out to get in touch with what is really important to you. And black in the real world often designates just that, time to get in touch with your own inner self. Get your psychic skills working for you. The issue here, of course, is that this has come as a result of not feeling as though you are in control of your life. And that feeling, because this feeling of lack of control and the action of withdrawing from the real world, withdrawing from others, permeates the entirety of the month, it means that you are going to be struggling a fair bit throughout the month with whatever it is that you are dealing with. Coming into the month, you've had that same withdrawal, but this withdrawal came as a result of blue underneath. The need for some sort of organization, for recognition, for being able to get on with whatever the task is that is there in front of you, but feeling in the real world too tired, too battered, too bruised, too out of control to be able to do so. Black and blue together, as the idiom tends to suggest, is feeling bruised. It's feeling battered. It's feeling as though you are at your wit's end. You don't understand what's going on in the real world anymore, and you don't understand what's going on in your internal world, although you need to be able to find that understanding. And in the real world, you are finding yourself moving away from others because it's safer for you to withdraw and wait for that understanding to come towards you. As you progress further into the month, that black becomes internal. You start to feel as though nothing is ever going to change. Black doesn't allow you to see what potentials there are. Black internally is a need for that withdrawal, and the further you withdraw, the more it appears to the rest of the world as though you are depressed. But you haven't got depression in the real world. What you're actually doing is cyan, and that is putting on the sort of face that says everything's fine with me. I'm absolutely in exactly where I want to be. My life is bliss, it's comfort, it's everything that I desire. But in my internal world, you actually aren't feeling that bliss. The need is to get away and to find peace and quiet and time out so that you can reflect on what is going on in your life and specifically why it is that you're feeling so very, very vulnerable. But instead of allowing that vulnerability to show through, you're in fact doing this, I'm okay, Jack, everything's fine with me. As you go further towards the end of the month, you find that all of that dissipates, and in fact, there is a major crisis that you need to deal with. Now, there are issues that we have here that come as a result of this black on pink underlying energy. If we take the crossover between the black and blue and the black on pink, we find that coming into the month, there's absolutely no difference in the way in which you are feeling and actually dealing with the issues that you have faced during the month. Black on pink is exactly the same as black on pink here. Black on blue is exactly the same as black on blue here. What we can do is look at this blue and pink together. Now, blue and pink is basically nurturing the child within. And these are both in the position of need. And so here we have an underlying energy that impinges on how you enter into October that requires you to look after yourself, to start to give some commitment to caring for the child inside. That is you looking after you. In the real world, of course, the black prevents a lot of that from happening. It's like you need to take time out and move away from the world in order to understand and perhaps consolidate the sorts of skills that are necessary for you to be able to look after or nurture the child within. By the middle of the month, this, of course, has changed entirely. If we take black in the real world and add it to black in the internal world, then this is an absolute taking away. It's a hiding from the world. It's moving away, withdrawing inwards, becoming isolated, insular, simply keeping away from people and situations for your own safety. Black on black is always a withdrawal in order to recuperate from something that is unpleasant in your world. So what might that have been? Well, if we look at the cyan and pink, we have here two of the most lovely colours within the basic colour terms. Cyan is all about wonderful life, bliss, comfort, everything that is possible for you to feel good about yourself is there. Pink is an actual need for being looked after. Now, if we've got here the need to nurture the child within, here we have the child within is having a wonderful time. So how does that correlate with the black on black? Well, the more you withdraw, the more you can enter into this fantasy world that you are perfectly capable and are being looked after by yourself. Everything you need, everything you want is there for you. It's within reach, only because you've moved away from those people and those situations that are impinging upon your time and your energy. By the end of the month, though, we have a totally different look. If we take the black and put it over the orange, what we have here is a need to stand up and be counted, because in the real world, there is a stagnation taking place. Something has halted your progress. You've been in a bit of a fantasy here. You've wanted love and attention, and that love and attention has come at you in droves. Has it been you that's been doing it? Well, obviously, because this is you doing things in the real world. This is your need. Here, what you're doing is withdrawing because the need says, I need to do something different. I need to create a crisis in order to make a change. Now, interestingly, black on orange is the opposite of black on blue. Blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel. So whereas here, this is withdrawal in order to understand what's going on in your life and give yourself a new perspective. Here, the new perspective has been attained, and now you have decided, you've made decisions by the end of the month to move forward, but to move forward fairly aggressively and assertively and determined to achieve what you want to set out to achieve. What might that be? Well, here we have orange in the real world and pink in the internal world. You still need to be loved, to be looked after, to have somebody take some sort of attention towards you. But here, in order to obtain that attention, what you are doing yourself is creating the sort of social environment that creates massive catastrophic change. Orange on orange is always a crisis to be faced. And when that crisis involves you needing time out so that you can look after yourself, coming from a space of fantasizing about how things could be because they might be wonderful, if only this crisis situation is something out of your control, but it also offers you the opportunity to use whatever courage, confidence, ability to survive that is out there in your world and to overcome whatever this is. So let's have a look at the colours that are missing to see if we can devise some more information about this. Excuse me. Well, we have black. There's a lot of it. There's no white. There's no red. There is no yellow or green. But you do have blue. There is no brown. You have orange. There's no grey or purple, but you do have pink and you do have cyan. So these 5 colours are the issues that you will be dealing with throughout the month of October, and hopefully those issues will enable you to move forward in a way that lets you overcome whatever the crisis is that you will be facing at the end of the month. What is missing, on the other hand, are these colours. And what we have here, well, let me just not get that there, is white, which is all about clarity, dealing with the unknown, being able to be enlightened and get a new perspective. Red, which is being in charge and so therefore dominant in your life. Yellow, which is both happiness and also understanding and learning. Green, which is freedom and new pathways. Brown, which is all about goals and ambitions and practical skills. Grey, which has to do with being able to overcome any confusion that occurs within your life. And purple, which is all about having fun, child energy, but at the same time also dealing with the need to heal things. So of those 7 colours, which is the one that's most appealing and which is the one that is least appealing? If you put those 2 colours into your life in the next month, you'll find that the issues that you will be facing here with the black and pink and the orange towards the end of the month will be somewhat easier to navigate because you have taken the best and the worst of what is missing from your life, incorporated those, and therefore increased the skill set that you have over here. So, which ones are you going to choose? Let's have a look at the treasure from Tikashi to see what he has to offer. Well, here we have, oops, let me see if I can get it there, purpose. Feel a sense of purpose in everything you do. Know that you can learn your lessons and move on. Understand that everything has a purpose. You can learn from your past, but don't dwell on it. Move forward with purpose, even when the direction is unclear. There is a higher purpose to everything. The black in this reading indicates that you are on a search for that higher purpose. I certainly trust that you find it. Well, that was certainly an interesting reading. I hope it resonates with you throughout the month. And if it doesn't, come back in a week or so and see what it has to say then. Because quite often we don't recognize all these general readings for ourselves immediately. It's only once we've gone through a few stages that we start to realize that, maybe that was what it was all about. Anyway, until next time, May the colours of your life bring you joy and happiness and all the things that you desire. Until I see you again, bye.